Deep as the ocean. As these waters rise, see the colors of 1,000 lifetimes, buried stories, pearls of wisdom and mystery, a distant echo, a forgotten song. All your words, they linger. Do you remember my child? This path is wonder, but you can make your own. My tears, they fall for you, that the rivers will carry you home. As your footsteps travel on this ground, let your fears fall away. Let each step be your own. You've got the stars to guide you, the moon at your brow. You're the child of the ocean. The tide is rising now. Keep the fire burning all night long. Keep your words wet with truth. Let the rhythm of the ancients keep the beat for you. These steps are your own. We're right here for you. Let your vision be strong. Trust what you see. Let your journey go deep as the ocean. Deep as the ocean. Deep as the ocean. Deep as the ocean.
The most wonderful thing is the science of friendship. That is the ultimate thing. More than science of meditation, it is the science of friendship. Whether you are a meditator or not, whether you are enlightened or not, whether you are good or bad, you can always be friends with everything. Friendship is the goal. And you arrive at the science of friendship through the science of meditation. Science of friendship is the science of enlightenment. Enlightenment is nothing but friendship. Eternal friendship with everybody.
I'm happy for no reason. I'm contented with whatever I have. The relationships that we have with people around us, in my view, it has improved a lot. Okay, I see it for myself, I feel it for myself. Not I see, I feel it for myself. So that's there.
I've seen tremendous improvement. I was not able to sit before. I'm sitting now, folding legs, and that my physical pain was affecting my sleep. So that has improved significantly since pain has reduced. So I'm able to sleep better. So, and I'm seeing like overall, so because of that, my mood during the day is wonderful, and I feel I have a lot of energy during the day, which I used to be pretty exhausted before. So it's complete like 360-degree turnaround for me.
Good morning, friends. Good evening and namaste to everyone. We welcome you all to yet another wonderful energy-packed session on emotional intelligence. This week, we are going to understand what emotional intelligence is all about, how meditation can impact, what are the different elements that constitute emotional intelligence, right? We are all part of this, so we are all called social animals, right? We are in a part of a society. So being a part of society, how we are able to manage our emotions and understand the emotions of people around us also. So what are those key elements that constitute this particular emotional intelligence, and how meditation can impact the emotional intelligence, how we can better ourselves in terms of relationships that we have around our environment, right? So with that very brief introduction, I hand it over to Chandra sir.
Thank you, madam. Please give your brief introduction about yourself and your meditation journey.
Okay, I'm Lakshmi. So I'm working as a senior project manager. Meditation, I've been practicing meditation for the past 3 years. And one thing that comes to my mind when I think about meditation is feeling good for no reason. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And gratitude has been a part of my journey, right? I don't feel miserable, right? After I started meditating, I rarely found myself in a miserable state, right? I don't even remember when it was last. And third thing is the connectedness with people around you. It need not be your family alone. I don't have to think that he's my husband or she's my sister, she's my mother. I don't have to necessarily have that biological relationship to feel people around me, right? Meditation has brought that interconnectedness for me, right? Yes, there is a long way to go. I acknowledge that. But yes, I've started feeling that connectedness despite they not being a part of my biological relationships. So I feel good about that. And my awareness has increased more and more. Okay, so I know it's not that I don't get angry. I do get angry, but I'm aware of why I'm in that state. What made me get into that state? So it helped me reduce my overthinking. Yeah, I'm a senior IT manager. So I do have my reportees, I have my colleagues, I have my vendors whom I have to work with. And meditation definitely made me very stable when I'm dealing with any escalation in my workplace or any issue with my team, right? I really don't get irritated or frustrated or lose my cool there. Rather, I'm being very stable in handling such situations. So in this way, I feel very good both at my personal and professional life as well. So very in brief about my experience about meditation, what I have gone through.
Wonderful, madam. So which essentially means that you already said everything that's required through a meditation to be able to deal with people and manage our daily life situations. So this week's class is about you then. Everything that you learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotional intelligence, when we get into this topic, sir, it's all about us. There is nothing, not even a single topic, single discussion point that would feel as, okay, this is not for me. Everything, in terms of how do we engage with others, how do we work with others, how do we really, help others, right? We don't have to interfere in their lives, but still can lend a helping hand to them and say, okay, hey buddy, how is it going for you? Right? That sort of, it becomes inherent to us. Yes.
Yes. So friends, happy evening to all of you and a great morning and wonderful afternoon. Lakshmi Madam already laid out what meditation can do in the way we can deal with people and situations. And if we are able to continue doing what we are doing without getting derailed in situations, without getting derailed, losing our focus and attention of what we are on to, without getting derailed, we're able to continue to deliver our best in whatever we are doing, or experience the best in what we are doing, then we say we are highly emotionally intelligent. Then we go a step further. And then if we're able to rally people around towards something that we are deeply interested so that we maximize our experience, then we say we are even more emotionally intelligent. Maximize the experience for us and maximize the experience for others. That's really... When we say maximize the experience for everybody involved, everything involved. So first, not getting derailed. So being intelligent enough that we don't get derailed from what we are doing. Somebody comes and says, hey, this doesn't work. Somebody comes and says, you just ignore the responsibility all the time. Somebody, something that you're expecting will not happen the way you want it from your team. But then we don't get derailed from what we are doing. That's exactly what Lakshmi Madam is saying, that I remain cool. The challenges come, but I stay cool, calm. I'm able to deal with things. Meditation plays a great role in developing this intelligence. And if we say, and we equate that to, from a spiritual parlance, when you are highly emotionally intelligent, then you develop great friendships. If you're highly emotionally intelligent, then you develop great friendships. Friendship with yourself first. So then you become that fragrance. You radiate that energy so beautifully because you have friendship with yourself. You accept yourself. You love yourself. Because friendship is what? It defines that also. You know everything about a person and still accept them as they are, which means you don't interfere into them. Allow them to be. So first we allow us to be the way we are. Friendship with ourselves, friendship with everybody around. This is the part that we know of normally. Be friend with other people. This is what we've been trying to do a lot of times. Managing. How do I connect with people is a challenge. Friendship with animals, the beings that are there. We are not the only ones right here. But friendship with animals to beings naturally develop their friendships, and the friendship with the environment, the planet, the protective planet. 4 friendships. If we are highly emotionally intelligent, then we're developing great friendship with all 4 of us, all 4 of them. And so by doing so, dear friends, and we maximize experience for everybody. We maximize experience for everybody. Everything is consciousness. Everything has a desire to live, desire to grow and expand. And so we allow them to be without interfering into them. And so they maximize experience. Meditation beautifully is doing it. And so we heard some from Lakshmi Madam, and then we're going to learn the aspects of how it's building us to develop all those 4 friendships automatically. They talked already about one point, connectedness. That connectedness is coming automatically. Happiness, no reason means you're a great friend with yourself. Connectedness means your friendship with everybody around, and then so which includes your animals and then planet, everything around. So do the right thing at any given situation. That's what it means. So we will know more of these in a psychology language. A lot of emotional intelligence is positive psychology of how things are getting built through meditation, the skills that get built, developed into us. Before that, let's go into our meditation once again, friends. We're practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Doing a little practice of this technique where we are observing our breath to slowly reduce our thoughts and slowly to go into the empty states of mind to experience that greater emptiness of the quantum field of energy around us. And practicing this technique for a few minutes every day seems to be doing wonders in many ways. So the technique is very simple for those of you who are new that we're practicing. Let me just put up that. The technique called breath mindfulness meditation is to observe our natural breath with our eyes closed. As you see in the picture, fingers into fingers, hands in your lap comfortably placed, feet crossed at ankle, or legs crossed if sitting on the floor. And observe your breath anywhere in the nose as a reference point. You observe breath, your natural breath going in and coming out at that point. And observe your breath slowly. The breath is taking you to various states of meditation. It takes you to an emptiness state. It takes you to states where you may experience energy, so sensations may be there in the body. It may take you to a sleepy state. It may take you to a state where you're not aware what happened. But just observing the breath slowly will take you to any of those states. So start with observing the breath, and slowly, the breath becomes smaller, lighter, and so you also travel with it, and then suddenly you may find in any of those states. But in case at any given time, if you know that you're thinking, you are in thought, you bring your attention back to the breath again. When you're observing the breath, slowly, you go into a meditative state. But at any time, if you feel you're in thought, you're thinking, not in any state other than thought, you know that you're actually in thought. At that time, you bring your attention back to the breath again. Again, observe, continue to observe. Again, slowly go into a meditative state. All right, friends, it's called breath mindfulness meditation. This is where you're going to spend maximum time. And before that, we are always practicing something called heart elevation process to elevate ourselves into a higher, better mood, which has an effect of taking us into a deeper breath mindfulness meditation. So the heart elevation technique is simple. So I'm just keeping the slide is there. So that's the posture. So just follow my guidance. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. We're going to do this for a few minutes, and then we go into breath mindfulness meditation. Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, specs removed, keep your hands on your chest area. Rest your attention on your sacred heart and feel that heart center. Feel the beat, the rhythm of your heart. Connect with your center, the seat of all emotions, which is expanding all life with its energies of love, joy, compassion, gratitude. Feel it and recollect an experience from your past, from your present, or from your mind movie of future, of enormous love, enormous compassion. Relive that moment, that experience, and feel that energy. The more you experience these energies of love, kindness, compassion, the more you become coherent with all things and everybody. And allow yourself to radiate this energy onto all corners of this planet Earth to heal all things and everybody. Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. yourself to merge into your breath. And allow yourself to experience the emptiness and blackness inside of you, all around you. can you become aware of that emptiness, that blackness? Where there's no body, where there's no thing. That's energy. All emptiness is energy. This is the limitless possibility quantum field. The longer you stay aware of that emptiness, that blackness, the more you tune in to the abundance of energies in this field. The more experiences you draw into your life. Merge into your breath. Merge into that emptiness of yourself. This is the field of all connectedness, your higher intelligence. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness and energy as no body, the more you experience everybody and everything recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes. Okay, friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. We'll certainly share, if anybody would like to share after today's discussion on the topics. Emotional intelligence. Before we go into the depth of emotional intelligence, we'd like to always cover a topic very important and then very connected to the way we learn. The way our brain is learning. Emotions are stored deeper in our mind, in our subconscious. The subconscious that is not readily accessible. To reprogram or control. So a lot of times, we know that we have anger challenges, we know that we have judgment challenges, fear challenges. And we know that we need to be different in the next time it happens. We know that we want to do it eagerly, but we're not able to do that. Every time we expressed anger, every time we thought differently on somebody, I don't know, we are fearful of doing that walk in the night. We say, what's this? How can I be such a small thing? How can I not have control on me? So how can I change it? We want to connect with people better, but then we're not able to do it. Intention is there, but then it's not being matched with the follow-on action. We end up doing what we were because it's all coming from subconscious. Our emotional, all that emotional understanding, the memory, the record is there in the subconscious mind. So any learning that is coming there to help us change ourselves as a person, as a personality, needs to look at this learning holistically of how the brain is working, and then how meditation can help in making this learning true learning. A true learning that makes an individual behaviorally change. Not change intellectually, but behaviorally change. If it can change behaviorally, that means it can help change the subconscious level of that emotional past program. And then we see that persons are changing. Their emotional intelligence is increasing, and that is being exhibited in the way they deal with people, they connect with people, they inspire people. So let's understand this very important topic and a scientific topic of how our brain is learning, and then how meditation is absolutely helping. Not this one. We have something on the screen. Lakshmi Madam, what do you have? Okay, I think I got it. So learning, doing, being. We see that meditation is increasing our emotional quotient, EQ, emotional intelligence, helps us develop better emotional regulation. So this slide, you may have seen this before, and we showed it before, and come back to it again. The three brains, they're actually called the learning, doing, being brains. The frontal brain, the big part of the brain, the conscious mind, the human brain. The scientific term for it is the neocortex, which is the peach color, is also called the learning brain, thinking brain. The second brain, which is below, is limbic system in medical terms, but it is also the emotional brain, the place where our emotions are stored, the emotional memories are stored. It's called a place called amygdala. And it has a place called hippocampus. These two areas, one is long-term memory, another is the emotional aspect of that. So these two are combining and storing our life experience, wisdom with emotion. It is recorded there. You know, when you experience certain things with your spouse, it's recorded there with a mixture of emotions of what your spouse can be with your judgments, and all of that is recorded. And you have a derivative statements. You have enough statements about your boss or your colleagues or your company with an emotion that is exhibited every time you think about that thing, every time you go to your office, every time you go to meet that boss, meet that person. There's a level of emotion that comes up, either excitement, right? Either frustration or joy, depending on what that you stored, and then what is the corresponding associated truth or fact is stored, and then there's an emotion associated with it. It's always that way. Because that's the record of the core function of the limbic system is to store that emotion and store the associated memory with it, the knowledge or wisdom or the fact, the belief. They're all the same words. If we have to change our emotion, the behavior, then we have to deal this part of the brain. Behavior changes have to come from here. Learning is happening from the neocortex brain, but the behavioral aspect is really getting stored over a period of learning into this limbic system. And so if that is changed, then we're able to change. When I meet my manager, the only response today I know is, let's say, a frustrating response. So a manager who constantly questions me, who is very, very selfish, constantly questions me when I go into office, is constantly asking for his deadlines all the time, breathing down my neck. The emotional response that I have to that person is that, oh my gosh, again is showing up, so let me run away from here. Let me somehow figure out and not to be in sight of him. So we find ways to go away. We become aloof, we want to avoid. If the person comes up in front, it's the standard fight or flight mode. The stress kicks in, so we go into fight or flight mode. Either we run away from there, or the fight mode, in this case, is being very evasive, potentially, or coming up with a stern response. I told you last time, I will tell you when I have something extra update, in a stern voice, so that you want to cut them off right there. That's your fight mode or a flight mode. So you've got an emotion stored depending on the type of person. On the other hand, somebody is always guiding you, somebody is mentoring you, somebody is always considerate towards you. And the moment you see the person, you want to go towards them. Take extra effort to walk by their cabin and say hi, to show you presence and see what you get from that person that day. That's another emotion. Our emotional response is stored, associated with the person when we meet them. They're called learning, doing, being brains because their brains are learning, or anything that's happening to us is exactly taking that shape. We are learning enough about the first response. The only response we know in this case is if the manager is only an evasive response, so you got it stored. But when you learn a new response, by reading a book, by attending a course, by doing something which says, be patient, be empathetic, be considerate. A new response that can come through a course that you've learned how to be tolerant with all kinds of managers. Let's say this is the course your company has given. How to be tolerant with all kinds of managers. And so when you learn that course, and then that means you're installing a second response, potentially you can use it. The question is the learning complete enough that the response is at your disposal when you really need it? So before we go in and understand how meditation can help that, let's look at how the brain is structured to learn. What you see in the picture is these are like neurons. A neuron connects with another neuron here through these what we call neural connections. A neuron can connect with another neuron up to 100,000. It can form 100,000 connections with each another neuron. They're all are very micro things, smaller than a grain of salt. And every time a connection is formed, it's called a memory. So the two neurons come together. When you're learning something, two neurons come together to form a connection, to store that data. And so the data is more like if you learn one digit, there are about 1,400 connections are formed in the brain. What's the capacity of the brain? Significant. There are billions of neurons and so trillions of connections. And so the data that it can store is literally unimaginable amount of data. Now, all the data is what we're talking about our experience of life, our learnings from life, our learnings through different people, right? The course where everything that is all is the data that we're talking about. Everything we're experiencing is learning, right? Every time you learn something, connections are formed. And every time that you repeat and relearn something, more connections are formed. That's what the statement that says cells that fire together, wire together. So when you're learning, and let's say Earth is round. Earth is round is a statement we want to learn. So there are three ways you can learn about this. One, somebody just simply writes it on a book and says Earth is round. You're going to just read that letters. Second, there is a poster, is a nice greenery with the earth in sphere shape, and then Earth is round is written. That's another way to learn. Third, you got a movie, a video that is made showing various aspects of this roundness of Earth that the globe is rotating and shown in the planetary positions where it is along with all the stars and planets. And then some more is shown where, on the Earth, as it's rotating, different kinds of people are there nicely enjoying, joyous. There is emotion that's connecting. And then finally, they say that Earth is round, we're all one, we're all connected. Suppose it says that. So now all these three are just depicting the same fact, Earth is round, to drive the point that Earth is round. Now the way the brain is learning, dear friends, is that each time you have whole different set of connections, whole different parts of the brain are used. In the first case, when text is stored, simple text is stored, you're using a few connections because there's no emotion, there is no vision, there's no auditory function, nothing is getting utilized of your brain. Simple text, right? The reading aspect of the brain is getting utilized. It reads, and then it stores. All it requires is earth is around. That's all it is. There's nothing else to remember around that. So let's say it stores, and it takes 15,000 connections. Earth is round. But the same thing when you're around as a picture, then it has to store all the detailing of the picture, the colors of the picture. And the way you wrote it, maybe some bold font, earth is round, you've written it in a bigger font, different colors, all of that is stored. So it requires potentially 1 million connections now just to store the same information, earth is round, with a picture associated. So that is called an associative memory. And the third one, in this case, a video of earth is round is stored where now you got an emotion, the sound, people, maybe, just joyfully smiling and waving hands as that video shoot is made everywhere. And so then you connect and say a lot more emotion here recorded. What are the people saying? Oh, they're joyful, they're happy, and this one, that one, what is that evoking to you when you see that earth and the beautiful earth around the planets? And so they look at the beauty of it, so it's got some emotion for you. So now the third case where when we are learning the same data, but we are storing many more connections, potentially 100 million connections, because it's got to take a lot of data around it. So dear friends, the thing is the memory cells, like any cells in the body, are constantly regenerating themselves, meaning old cells are dying, new cells are coming up to take over the old cell functions. Every moment, 1 million cells are going and 1 million cells are coming. So as you can see, when there is a old cells die, that means you have a memory loss. When cells die, there is a memory loss. And so if I stored earth is round as a plain text without any association of whatsoever, and so then when there is a certain amount of cells they lose, and say as part of ROUND round, the 2 letters OU is gone. Corresponding to that, the memory connection cells have died. So OU have gone. When OU is gone, now you don't have an exact word to remember to say, what is R&D? You don't know what the R&D is. You miss it, you lose your memory. So the learning is, okay, it is just superficial, but it pretty quickly can go away because it is just textual learning. But if it is a visual, then even if you lost a letter, then the round, the sphere is there, which you have an already meaning associated with it, and then you associated that to earth being round. So that is there, that is stored as an associated memory. And so even that text is gone, that portion of the memory cells have died, but it still can reconstruct saying earth is round. If it is in the case of visual, then you've got so much feeling attached to it. You're already making connections. Oh, it's round. That's why I can see the flight going around. Whatever that visual is stored. So associated. And so then you store it for this lot more. The emotion means that it's much more deeper. It stores forever. The reason why when we go and watch a movie, which has got so much emotion, that scene that we remember, we can reconstruct and tell to somebody even 10 years later, particularly those that are very, very interesting to us. When we show active interest to watch a movie, it's got so much emotion in it. And because the brain is recording in so many connections in so many ways. So learning, visual, experiential learning is always very powerful. Now let's come to a situation, a daily situation. A daily situation where, let's take that example, that boss is very, very self-centered and then is only goal-focused, they want a deadline focused, it's constantly coming down. So every day he comes to you. Every day he comes to you and then asking about the same thing. And so now here is an experience that you're going through. Each time is coming, each time you're going through an experience, and that experience is intense because you're either not liking, in this situation, you're not liking, intense. And so either you're trying to avoid because your stress is going up. So there's an intense feeling that's coming in there. And so all of this is getting recorded. And second day, it gets stronger. Third day, it gets stronger. Fourth day, it gets stronger. So it's stronger and stronger. It becomes stronger in your memory subconsciously. And so then you're ready with a response every time you see the person, either to run away or be there. Now, suppose you've gone to this course that we talked about, how to be tolerant in dealing with the managers. And you learned the course. You liked it. You saw, you heard enough examples. So you got that recorded somewhere. You liked it. And so you call up your friend and say over the weekend, hey, you know what? I went for this course and I got this challenge with the boss, but luckily my company gave me this course and I went and I attended this. It's really nice. I think, they gave some good examples. And so one of the ways they told me that when a manager is asking questions, rather than giving this response, and then ask me to just observe my breath, just relax myself, center myself a bit. Ask me to observe my breath, center myself, and then by centering yourself, you immediately, you come back to normalcy, and so you're ready to be tolerant there. They may ask, it's maybe your boss may have a lot of pressure. They talk about, hey, be considered the other side. They may have a pressure, you don't know what the big picture is, so they're always asking you. So center yourself so you have a way. Or acknowledge the feeling. The course said acknowledge the feeling. The boss is always asking is, hey, where are you? Rather than trying to go a defensive response, just acknowledge the feeling. Yes, you want to know, most certainly I'll tell you. Can you give me a few minutes? And then so you can go off, and that is sufficient for them to also cool off. So they gave you some tips. So you like it, you tell your friend. So you repeat it a second time. So then you're storing a little stronger. And so now you have an option of second response. So now you're going to your office after the course is done. The next Monday morning, you're going to your office. The boss shows up in front of you. So he's ready to ask you the same thing. Maybe. Or he's ready to compliment you because you helped him last week. You don't know. But either way, our old response is to defend directly before you even complete the sentence, say something, or to avoid. But in that moment, if you've learned it right, then the option of the second response of being tolerant, if it comes to you as a second response, then you're picking it up. And then you are expressing it once. So dear friends, most people, the challenge is that second response to be utilized. First time to be utilized, you need a lot of awareness. And so when that awareness is not there, your body has taken over you as an old emotion, because the moment you saw the person is so strong deep inside, whereas the learning you had is very little, weaker connection, whereas it is so strongly, there is this subconscious strong pattern of the old response. So it takes over you. And so even though you learned something new, you are not at adequate awareness to overcome this power of your older memory. And so you behave the old way because subconscious pattern is too strong. Your learning is not deepened yet. And so too strong. And so it sort of takes over. But when you have meditation gives you that awareness. The moment it gives you that awareness in that moment, in a flash, before you can go and then give your old response, evasive response, immediately giving a flash and says, tell you what, Lakshmi madam, here you have an opportunity to be tolerant. Remember this course you learned. That is sufficient, but that spark is sufficient for you to think about it. The moment you think about this, suddenly your CEO of the brain is sort of organizing all the resources, all the light bulbs glow, and then it sort of pulls the information around what tolerance response means that you will learn from it. It suddenly pulls all of it. All it requires is to be aware and remember in that moment once, and you want to recollect it. So suddenly you got all of the circuits coming to your favor, building it up with enough energy. The moment you have it with enough energy, then you're breaking your old pattern. So this is also becoming stronger for you to express it, and so you express it once. You express it once, you relearned it. So the connections become stronger. You learned it once because you refined the connections, right? Because you expressed it once. All the memory came back, recollected it. So you relearned it, so rewired yourself. So that became stronger. So that means it's ready to help you a little more faster next time. So from learning with the meditation, giving you that awareness in that moment, that spark of awareness is necessary. And so then you're able to relearn to make it stronger. And by making this stronger, you did one more beautiful thing. You made the old response weaker. Use it or lose it is the next neuroscience principle that comes into action here. Use it or lose it. So that day, you did not use an old response. One, not sufficient. One time doing a positive response, not sufficient. We know it. Some days, somewhere we do it, anger, we not expressed it, but it's not sufficient. You got to do it a second time. So next day you come in, you practice in the same, your old emotion is ready to fire. But then you practice, your awareness is there, your meditation is there. Because you give you that awareness to give you a spark again, use it a second time. And you do it a third time, dear friends, and the fourth time, and a fifth time. You make it stronger and stronger. From learning, you move to your doing state, and you implement it enough times that eventually, in a few weeks, and usually it's about under 3 weeks, about 3 weeks, then you've consolidated and you solidified your new tolerant response. And then you weaken and evade your response. One, awareness is necessary. And second, once awareness is necessary, and second, dear friends, our ability to rewire the brain cells to construct new circuits is very important. And that's neuroplasticity, or having adequate neural glue and circuits. The two things are necessary. A lot of neural glue and the neurons that are required so that you can rewire yourself each time you give a new response, because it needs a lot of new connections again. Every time you're expressing the new response, you need a lot of connections again. You need neuroplasticity, additional neural cells and connections, the glue. Meditation is producing plenty of it. We learned this last week, in week 2, that meditation structurally changes the brain and then increase your neurons, and also the glue makes it very healthy so that your learning is there. It permits a lot of learning, a lot of connections. So dear friends, doing it once is not enough. Awareness is essential. Having neural connections is essential, connectional capacity is essential. And doing it once is not enough. Doing it repeated times so that it strengthens the response strongly and strongly, so that at some point it overtakes your old self. So repetition is essential. So when we do these, dear friends, we are changing emotionally a different person. Our emotional behavior changes. And so meditation fundamentally supports us in a behavioral change. Just with this learning to doing to being. After doing it a few times, then you be of it. You no longer require somebody, you no longer require any special attention. You are that emotion now. You're tolerant. By default, you're tolerant. When you're tolerant, then you automatically spread that vibration to everybody around you. So others are also becoming tolerant because of you are that. Thank you very much for joining. Building upon these concepts, that how meditation helps us to be a different person. And Graham Phillips, one of the experimentation done by Institute of Neurotic Sciences, is that Graham Phillips is an astrophysicist. And he wanted to experience for himself the benefits of meditation firsthand. So he said, I'm going to go undergo an 8-week course and see what is the difference it's going to make to my emotional regulation. 25% change in his emotional regulation capabilities. 25% he got better. That means out of 4 situations where people are cutting while he's driving on the road, he cuts across into the lane. Normally where you lose your temperament, then here he's gotten better. 1 out of 4 times he's gotten better already in about 8 weeks of meditation practice. What has taken years of conditioning In 8 weeks, you're able to change the circuits and form give a different response. Be cool. Or act different in those situations of many, many daily life situations. Things are not going right. People are shouting at you, and then this is not happening, that's not happening. And all of them coming together, and still you are having a better response. 8 weeks. We have seen in our programs, in this 40-day program, dear friends, 83% of the people have said that emotionally improved significantly. About a quarter have said that there's significant improvement they've seen in their emotional responses. And then another half have said that no, they've seen a reasonable, good improvement in our program in 40 days. Because we're practicing deep enough meditation to build enough awareness. We're practicing for 40 minutes of everyday practice. And then, of course, we're learning, and knowledge is precursor. So we're learning, so we understand it better. So we implement it more deeply. So using this, we're going to build upon it for later this week of how meditation is improving emotional intelligence. We understand it in a psychological, it's called positive psychology of self-awareness, self-expression, empathy, inspiration, engagement in 5 areas to maximize an experience for ourselves, for everybody around. Thank you. Lakshmi Madam, any announcements?
Yes. First one is about the book club, the autobiography of Yogi. We're going to have it in another 1 hour, 5 minutes. So please make the best use of the session. Right. That's first. And second thing is about the self-assessment, the second self-assessment that got triggered. So now we have completed 3 weeks, right? Exactly. We are in the midway of our 40-day program. So please fill this survey. Okay. It's not just for anything else, right? It is to gauge our progress, where we have started and where we are now. Just to gauge our progress, the self-assessment is triggered for all of you. So please fill it up, max by Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. So thank you. You're mute.
Please conclude with your observations of the session.
First thing is, when we talk about we as a human being, we are driven by certain instincts, right? When we talk about, relationships, especially in the field, in the arena of relationships, we have the major thing, according to me, at least my experience, we try to overthink. Some incident might have happened. It will, we keep on thinking about it, and we are asking the universe to give that sort of thing for us more and more. Right. So when we practice this meditation, when we are talking about from what Sir was talking about, learning, doing, and being, one, we have learned, okay, these are all the aspects that go into, and when we start practicing, we are in that doing zone, right? It typically, when we talk, when I look at the overthinking process, that typically is affecting our relationships with people around us. When we practice this new thing, okay, the actual pattern, say for instance, I started overthinking. When I cut it, right, I'm just avoiding this response, and I'm replacing with something called as an opposite thinking. Okay, everything is going good, or my relationship with this person is very good, or my response to the person is very good, to the situation is very good. When we are replacing this with the new thought, okay, when we repeatedly do this, there is a tremendous amount of difference that we can observe. So that has when I look at learning, doing, and being, when I look at removing our old patterns and replacing it with new thoughts and just be there practicing it continuously, it becomes a part of us. We are not explicitly doing it anymore. So that's what learning and doing and being to me means. It becomes a part of your personal reality or a personality. That becomes a trait of yours. We are not trying hard to practice this explicitly. Rather, it becomes a part of our life very easily. So that's what is my takeaway, sir.
Thank you, dear friends. So we'll see you again tomorrow at 5:30 for continuation of India time. And then we'll be here for another 5-10 minutes for anyone who wants to share or ask a question on this topic. Otherwise, feel free to exit. Thank you.
In case you have any question, you can type in the chat window also, if you don't want to talk. Say anything. You can share your experience. If you have any question, you can ask. Yes, Ashwini ji, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you, madam, and Chandra sir. I'm driving, so I can't speak long. So, I mean, it's extremely powerful. I was listening to I couldn't do the full meditation, so I feel bad, but I will try to join, the Telugu one. Tarvata. So I'm driving, so I can't, share a long time. I want to say that it's very powerful. I think what I have discovered with this course so far is being happy for no reason, just being happy. Get up from the bed and just smile. And it's better to be above the ground when you get up than below the ground, right? We say here. So it's just being happy for being alive and seeing this beautiful nature and being with our friends, family. So thank you. This meditation course is just so phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwini madam. Yes, we're happy for no reason.
We have a question from Lakshmi Ramugaru. I joined 2 days ago. How to go back to manifestation?
Please answer, madam.
Okay, we have our YouTube live sessions recorded for you. So you may want to have a look at it. In case you're not able to find it or trace it out, please drop a note in your WhatsApp group, talk to your facilitator. They'll be able to help you. Yeah.
So there is a playlist called Harmony, that's your YouTube channel, which is called Buddha See You Live. So type that in YouTube, Buddha See You Live, and you go to playlist, Harmony, and that everything is numbered by day. So manifestation is day 15 to day 21. Third week, day 15 to day 21. All those videos will help.
Is there any advanced program online? This one from Surabhi Srivastavaji.
You may be referring to, in relation to the advanced meditation management retreat we are doing physically in Pyramid Valley. So right now we do not have, madam, if you are geographically very far, generally do a 2 or 3 day online advanced program on manifestation. You might do something in about June timeframe. This time we don't have any. But we do have an advanced 5-day intense meditation that's coming up in March 1st week. We always are doing it. A 5-day intensive meditation, pure meditation. So that'll be there. You can enroll into that. After this program is over, so generally about 2 weeks after a 40-day program, we're doing that. And then, depending on when the next program starts, we may have a 5-day, little advanced topics, a 2 hour per day. I think we are starting doing that now. If the next 40 days is too far away, then we may have one more 5-day advanced program. We cover some advanced topics, typically life after life, and some other things that we cover that also may be there. Just check on Buddha's website.
Lakshmi Ramugaru has raised her hand. Please go ahead, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. Okay, first of all, I didn't know that there was something in Telugu also. Okay. And secondly, I'm trying to search for this Harmony. Okay, Buddha CEO Harmony 14th and 15th session. I'm not able to get that link. That's number one. And number two, I don't know about this WhatsApp group. Not aware of, yeah. Oh,
okay. I have pasted the YouTube playlist URL, Andy, in the chat window.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, you can go through that link, and we have all the recorded live sessions that we had so far.
Okay.
So the third week is when we had manifestation. So probably you can go through that. Yeah.
I'll do that. And I will share one experience. I just did for 2 days with my eyes open. Actually, I just wanted to check what this whole program was all about. And I did it. And like you mentioned, I'm just singing to myself. I don't know why. Just 2 days. I didn't even close my eyes because I had to have an eye on my father-in-law at home. I can't leave him alone. I can't close my eyes when he's around. I mean, in the sense, because he's too old, you can't leave him alone. He will fall down very fast. So that's why I just kept my eyes open and I followed that manifestation, and I'm singing to myself and I'm just thinking something is just manifesting. So that's why I liked that session. So I want to go through the whole thing. Thanks for the chat. Yeah.
Okay, madam, I'll conclude here. So thank you very much, friends. So we'll see you all tomorrow again. Thank you.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability. You're capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams.
Bye, everyone.
Make it through. What you need is all